Okay, hello all. Figured it's time to do a live stream. It's been a long time. Been about 5 months. Not completely prepared, but never again. You're never really very prepared in this life, so might as well get at it. So I'll wait to see if anybody pops on here. I'll show a few things, talk about a few things. Hope everyone's doing well. Let me just check this real quick. Let's see. Yeah, looks like we're okay. Nobody on here yet. It's a little bit late, too. I just decided to pop on quick. Yay, Brooks, how's it going? First man on. First man on deck. Well, at any rate, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I had a really nice trip back to the States. I did a lot of things, got a lot accomplished, and I had a lot more I could have done, but oh well, time's limited. So, in a recent video, I made this my own style needle nose plier, and so I'm going to continue on this theme. So, with stuff like pliers and shears, different tongs, of course, and also scissors. So, like I said, I seem to have a penchant for this, so I'm going to continue on and see if I can perfect my designs. Hello there, Hermes. Yeah, tried my first San Mai. Yeah, well, I don't know much about blades, so yeah, but it's good. That's the thing is, I get a lot of, and I want to do this live stream because I've been promising people who send me some things like pictures of their work or stuff that they've seen, and then they do their own take on it. I always say like, well, when I do a live stream, I'll show that. And so, yeah, so let's get to doing some of that right now. I'm assuming everyone can hear me pretty well. So I don't know. Like I said, me and this stuff, this software, well, we're not the best of friends. Yeah, so at any rate, you see here, and you remember, this is a few videos back, a while back, I made this incense holder. Kind of just scroll together a piece and then just, put a little handle on it. It's a little bit too small. Well, someone else showed me theirs. So this is Mike at Rigid Ironworks. If I'm not, I just gotta make sure. Just gotta make the double check. So this is his own take on that, and yeah, his is better. So what are you gonna do? So here you can see, I like the way he has the handle part is much thicker, and the way he's laid it on flat like that. And you can see with a little incense triangle, whatever you call it, inside that little cone. Okay, yeah, I'll get it. Don't worry. Yeah, so we get rid of that. Delete. Yes. Yeah, so there's a lot of other things I want to share, so let me move on to those things as well. There's another thing too is in a recent video, you remember I tried this hollow punch. And then the solid one that's of the same size. And so I'm going to try this again, and I know it will work. I know already. So I'm just going to give it a quick video, and I was thinking of doing like just a short, just I didn't really notice this before, but you can do like 1-minute videos. So I might just pop on use these again and see if I can cut that down to a quick 1 minute, just a little fun video. So, but another thing about these, and I think maybe you can't see here, and I do have a video, is that I just fooled around because I've been monkeying around with this oxalic acid so much, and to draw a patina and other, tried like vinegar and other things, and some people have mentioned citric acid. So, and I kind of got hung up on using this oxalic acid, and I'm getting crazy with it now. And so what I put these in, and then to my surprise, they turned brown. And it's not like a rust brown. It's very brown. So it's kind of splotchy, but let me see. I'll pop the video. I think the video might be a little bit more clear. So let me see if I can pop that on and show you guys. See if anyone has questions. How are things holding up? Yeah, Taiwan is still here, if that's what you're asking. So let's get this. Okay, incense holder. See you later. What can brown do for you? So here I think you can see this a little bit better. So you can see how they've become brown. Now, what I've noticed with the patina is that it depends sometimes on the type of steel. Because I'll show another thing that I was normally getting like a green color, but not very prominently green, more grayish. And then these the hollow punch here and the solid punch are D2. So I don't know if that's par for the course. And also, when I put them in the mixture, they had a scale on them. They weren't clean. They weren't polished. So I don't know if that also affects it. So, just kind of monkeying around, trying different things. I'll play that quick, and I'll show you maybe a little bit closer. Let me get back to the comments here. Yeah, so you can see that brownish color. So that's pretty, to me, that's pretty interesting and might be nice on some pieces. Another thing I've noticed about the drawing these patinas, be it black or gray or green or brown or whatever it is they seem to have a real effect on keeping other oxidation, unwanted oxidation away. And it's also very hard to remove. Like I noticed when I would put a piece into the acid bath, for a few hours or even a day, and then if I tried to wire brush it, it wouldn't even remove it. So that's also, to me, is good. It's very hard to wear off. So let me just get rid of that. Yeah. How's that holding up? Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm kind of slow on the go here today, so just you gotta give me a break. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. So. And yeah, so anyway, the punches and this and another. This is one of my stubby hammers, and this one has. I think this was one that I put in vinegar, and I really enjoy that patina. And this has just been this is mine, and it's just been sitting around. I'm gonna put a handle on it, but it hasn't rusted at all. It has no oil or anything on it. It just stayed as is. So that's like I said, that's really a positive. So yeah, just some interesting stuff. All right, let's move on. See what else I can find here. Yeah, so then this is another, while we're on the theme of the patinas, I'll continue with this. Another reason why I went live right now, I was planning to do it tomorrow, but we're expecting a typhoon. And so I figured I don't know what my the connection will be like, and also if it's raining and I'm on the top floor here, it's always a hairy situation where I've got to be on alert and batten down the hatches. So I figured I'd just, even though it's a little bit later, that I'd go live now. So let me get back to this. Hey, what's going on there? What percent oxalic acid? Armageddon tools? I wish I could tell you. I just kind of. You see that container there, that little Milo container? I don't know, what does that hold? How much? A quart or whatever? I probably just put, I don't know, I'd say a half a cup. Half a cup. You got to experiment. And what I noticed with the oxalic acid is that, and I said this before, it seems to last. Like you can just save it and reuse it. And it will peter out eventually, but if you stir it up good, it becomes very murky. And at first it's very clear, and then after about a day, and once you have stuff in it, it becomes murky, but it seems to still be useful. So, yeah, vinegar and ferric chloride, a lot of people have said. It's just, for me, the oxalic acid is something I use to clean my work area, because it helps to remove rust really well, so it's something I'll always have on hand. So that's why I've been using that more and more and more. And I wanted to start doing my tongs with that kind of a finish, but I haven't got a container yet that's long enough, so I've got to just go out and get a container, and I'll try it out on tongs. And the thing that you have to keep in mind is you have to try it in various states. Like what I mean is what I was just saying before, is that maybe the piece has got scale on it, maybe you've wire brushed it. Even I've noticed if I spray it with oil and put it in, it comes out a little bit different. So there's a lot of different things you can fool around and try with it. And for me, once you've got that patina on it, and then if you buff it, to me it gets a stone-like appearance, like a polished granite, and that to me is really appealing. But it's not for everything, and I've been going crazy with it, so I got to kind of probably cool it a bit. Yeah, so yeah, maybe a plumbing pipe, yeah, something like that I could use. Some people were saying use plastic, something that won't react, because I was using these metal containers, but it doesn't seem, to me at least, to make much of a difference, because I have used plastic as well. But maybe something that doesn't react, like, because obviously, like, that's a metal container, and it might have some other effect that we don't know about, or that you might not realize. Sewer pipe with one plug on the end. Okay, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, so let's look at this. This is a little baby cleaver I made for my wife. And, you know, I've been fooling around trying to make more blades, and it came out pretty good, pretty happy with it. And so that's in the oxalic acid bath, and then it became very prominently green. And that's stainless steel. It became more green. I'll stop it. I don't know if you can notice that, but it's very, especially the edge, right? It's very, very green to me. And so it reminds me of the Statue of Liberty. You know, it reminds me of something like that that's been left weathered, and it takes on that green patina. So, and again, that's stainless steel. And you can see the tang end where I didn't have it in the bath, and how nothing happened there. And then when I tried to, the funny thing is I thought, well, I'll reverse it and then see, I'll just get that patina on that end as well, and it would not take. I don't know if the acid lost its potency at that point, or it was, you know, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. You know, I'm not a chemist. I'm just somebody fooling around. So let's play this here, and I think you'll be able to see this a little bit better. Yeah, so here, like I said, if you polish it, I mean, to me, that's the way to go. And of course, I'm using a green rouge, and that gives it even more of a greenish tint. So there's my finished little cleaver, if you want to call it cleaver. I'm not sure what you call it. Yeah, I guess it is, right. And yeah, I'm getting a little bit better at knife making. It's something that I'm not, you know, like I said, I'll never be great at maybe, but I've been trying my best to, you know, get a little bit more familiar with the ins and outs of blades. So let's get rid of that. Remove cleaver. Yeah, I'm just kind of going through the stuff that I want to show and this and that. So just give me one sec. Did that. Cleaver, oxalic acid, needle nose pliers. Yeah, a customer recently kept calling tongs grabbers. And I kept thinking that's a great name. I'm probably going to start calling my tongs grabbers instead. Hey, a bit off blacksmithing. What's going on there? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I just kind of doing a lot of experimenting of late. And I feel like that, to me personally, you know, it's when I'm not busy for orders, in the past I would kind of always try to drum up business in different ways, but now I just want to focus on, when I'm not super busy, I just want to focus on trying different things and expanding my repertoire. So yeah, all right. Nobody has any questions, we'll move on. Let's see what else I can show you here. Yeah, like I said, I kind of apologize for everything being kind of herky-jerky here, but, you know, this is just, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, so let me show some other stuff that people have done, and I've got them listed here, or stuff they've shown me or their shops. So we'll just go, this is in no particular order, and this is going back quite a ways maybe for some. So this is, let me scale it down. You want to be able to see my beautiful face, right? Yeah, so this is from Raymond, right? Raymond at Big Red Shed in North Carolina. So these are his shop picks. He has a school there, and it's really beautiful. So let's I'll expand it a little bit more than what it is there. Let's play that. So yeah, Raymond, appreciate you sending over the pics. So you can see the variety of tools he has. I like the giant whiteboard and the TV. The lighting is great. And let me go back. Look at the forge setups he has right here on those oil drums. Yeah, just really nice. He's invited me to go there, and so, you know, maybe one day I'll make it there. So I do appreciate you sending that. It makes, you know, for a guy like me, it makes me dream. So, and I also like the tripod anvil stands. You know, that's a really good idea. So, all right. Thank you, Raymond. Let's get rid of that. See if anybody says anything. Anybody got anything important to say? Yeah, that's a cool setup. Really cool setup. So a lot of guys out there, like I said, they operate on different levels. And you know me, I'm pretty minimalistic, and I like to keep it that way. But that doesn't mean I don't, you know, admire guys who have it all set up, and, you know, like his school here, and other guys who have really extensive tool collections and like that. You know, we all like, I mean, it's like if you've got these women who like collect like brand name handbags, you know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe I'm not, you know, I'm one of these women that's not, you know, I don't have a lot of money to collect a whole bunch, but I can admire it still. So, and be honest, like I can have, if I want to, I can have a big shop if I want, and I do have the means, but it's just not me. So, and I'm happy to keep things where I got it right now. Maybe I'll expand a little bit though. So, all right, let's move on. Let me just, I want to check the comments quick, see if anybody's saying anything else. Shishki, I'm still working off my driveway with a home-built side blower. Yeah, that's like I mentioned to you, right? And that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And a lot of guys like send me pics of their setups, and also because they're simple, not because they're very complicated. So let me move on to something else. And you know, in that vein, I'll show you. This is a good friend of mine, and I've shown this before. This is Jeff Bott's shop that he made. He lives out there way in the sticks in Oregon, and you know, he's a real good guy. And so he sent this video, and so let's play this and see if, I don't know if you'll be able to hear his, he has a little bit of audio, but the interesting thing is that yellow treadle hammer was mine, and I sold it to him. And that Nimba anvil there was also mine, and I sold it to him. And I couldn't have sold to a better guy. The guy takes care of his stuff like there's no tomorrow. He's meticulous, and so they couldn't have a better home. And so let's play this video of Jeff here and see what we see. There he is, the man, the myth. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry I'm only getting around to this now too. Okay, disappeared. He'll be coming back soon, I suppose. There he is. Yeah. His video, I might slow things down because I think the file's kind of big. Like the cat. It's got a really nice action. That treadle hammer is really, really nice. Very well made. And so he says a few words towards the end here, so let's see what he says. He's also done like me, where he's got the camera too close though, and it's shaking.
I marked my boundaries with soapstone, so I know where to begin and end. Soapstone shows up really well after it's been heated.
I've listened to it, but I can't hear the audio when I'm using this software here, so I know he was talking about what he's doing and why he's doing it, so. Alright, yeah, so there it is. Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated. Remove that. Yes. Okay. Where did I, yeah, someone, I'm assuming you mean the treadle hammer, Tom, and someone made it for me, also by the name of Glen. And I feel really bad because I don't think I compensated him enough. And we kind of, you know, I don't know, there was a lot of confusion at that time, but it's a wonderful treadle hammer. And if Glen is somewhere around and he wants to email me, that would be great. So he did a great job. He was a kind of a fabricator welder. So much appreciated. All right. Yeah. I'm very famous for working out of sheds, you know, so that's not, you know, for me, that's like a mansion maybe. All right, let's see what else I see here. Treadle hammer, we got that. This here is, you know, when I was back in Washington, in Castle Rock, John Anderson lives there, and he's a friend of the channel, and then he, I really feel bad that I didn't visit him, but he sent me some pictures of his work, and really fantastic. So we'll take a quick look at that. Oops. Where'd it go? Hold on. All right, let me scale it down. Hold on a sec. Get rid of that. Yeah, so you can see this wonderful texture he has on this hammer. I think when I was monkeying around with texture on stuff, you know, then that's when he showed me this. And, you know, just really beautiful stuff. So, like that a lot. So let's play this video clip. So like I said, he's out in Washington there in the town I used to live in. His whimsical heads are just beautiful too. Just, you know, really creative. You know, the thing is too, when you communicate with people, like I communicate with so many people, and you never know what they're up to. You never imagine what people are, what they're doing, and to what degree. I'll expand that a little bit. And so I appreciate John sending me these pics. So he also says that he sometimes goes down by the riverside, to forge, just to have fun and forge out of his pickup truck. And so you can see him. He's set up here outside by the river. And that's really cool, right? I like that. I'm going to use that picture, I think, for the thumbnail because that's so cool. I really like that head. It's like one of those Easter Island heads or whatever. I don't know. It just looks really nice. And the way he has it in the foreground with the bridge in the background is really cool. And so there you can see his pickup truck and how he's set up right there. So I really wish I should have taken advantage of when I was there and met with him. I just was so busy with my own personal stuff. So, John, I'll catch up with you one of these days for sure. Thanks a lot. All right. And let's see here. Back to the stream here. I don't know if anyone's asked any questions here. No, it doesn't seem to be. Okay. Moving on. So, John, thank you. And then this is Richard Hazel. And Richard Hazel sets up outside at like a crafts fair. And so this is interesting to me too because, okay. I'll get it. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is a picture, not a video. It's a big picture. Wow. I should have scaled it down before. There he is. Yeah, so he sets up and does his forging. And so that's a really nice picture. And also it's just interesting, like, again, to where he set up with his portable, his anvil, forge, and everything else is so interesting. And so the thing that why he shared this picture is also, if you look right under the awning there, it's like you could see the little charcoal coal forge that he has, and that's exactly what I bought. And so he likes that because it's so convenient for traveling. So, hey Brett, how's it going? Good evening to you. Yeah, so if anyone is thinking about buying one of those little mini forges, I think, like I said, yeah, you're not going to do beyond a certain size. It's very impractical unless you make modifications. But as it is, if you want to have some fun and you don't want to have too much of a hassle, or you don't have much space, or your stuff that you've got to pack and carry to fairgrounds like this, to craft shows, it's a good idea. I think it'll get a lot of interest from people looking at it too, how small it is, but how much heat it can still generate. So yeah, so Richard Hazel, thank you for sharing that picture. Richard. Okay. All right. Moving on. Oh, I'll finish showing these folks stuff, and then I'll get on to some other story, get on to some other business here. And I don't want to talk forever today too, because it was a little bit late when I started this, but yeah, I've got a few things I can talk about. So this is Judah Askin. He made this. This is Sean Askin, and Judah is his son, and he purchased this hammer from me, and then he made this knife. His son made this knife, so just really wonderful. So you can see the square Japanese style hammer that he used to forge his cleaver. Again, like I said, I'm being more and more interested in blades, but you guys do a much better job than I ever could. So, and I really admire this because obviously he's a young man. So, very good. So let's play that because there's another pic of the polished finished cleaver. You can see it a little bit better there. So yeah, really nice work, Judah. Hope you see this. And I appreciate you guys, Sean, and you sharing. All right. Remove that. And then one last one. Who is this here? Oh, this is, Paul Parker. So Paul Parker, he shared, he purchased some tools for me, and he used a punch to punch out the knife guard, the holes in the knife guard, and he felt pleased, and so he shared these pictures of his knife and of the guard. So let's get on to that. Show you that quick. Hey, Dave, thank you for the $5. It's really appreciated. You know, anyone, like I said, who donates to me, of course, I'll give you a shout out then in an upcoming video. So, thank you. All right, so let's play this here. So, Paul Parker. That's a really nice knife, a rasp knife. And so you'll see the guard here, he used a round punch that he purchased, and he felt, like I said, pleased with that. And so, of course, that makes me happy. And so, you know, I hope it's continuing to serve him well. And there's the finished, you know, his completed blade. Good work, sir. Thanks a lot, Paul. All right, let's get rid of that. Okay, I just want to make sure I've covered everything that I want to show, because, like I said, it's been so long, and I'll try, you know, live streams are a little bit, like I said, it's not something that I'm not abandoning to doing live streams, but I feel like it's something that, because there's a lot of preparation involved, and so for that reason, of course, I want to make sure I have stuff to show. Today is a little bit more odds and ends, just because, you know, what the heck, it's been so long, and I don't want to wait. And like I had said in the very beginning, a lot of times in life, like, you want to wait until you're really prepared. And unfortunately, that day will never come sometimes. So you just got to get in and do it. So no excuses. All right, see if anybody's asking any questions, and then I'll move on to some unrelated topic. Something else maybe other than blacksmithing. Let's see. Hey, Ken. Still using the bending jig? It's awesome. I'm glad you are. Appreciate that. Yeah. See. Yeah, okay. No one seems to be asking any questions, so let's move on. You know, when I was back, and this is actually very appropriate today, because when I lived back in Castle Rock, Washington, the property that I owned, excuse me, had a seasonal creek on it, and I've touched on this before, saying that, you know, I had, you know, a lot of different experiences with this creek, and, you know, a learning experience, and also some dangerous experiences. And so I'll share that with you guys now. Forever I kept wanting to find pictures I had of something I did, but I just couldn't find this one specific picture, so I'll just have to relay it. I have some other stuff that I'll show, pictures and video, and so maybe you can get the gist. So basically, and why this is so appropriate is the person who bought my home, we've maintained a friendship, and that person actually contacted me today, was asking some questions. I guess maybe they might be preparing to sell, I don't know. So, but they were asking me some property-related questions, and it does have something to do with what I'm going to say now. So, you know, I've done a lot of stupid things, but I would say by far and away, this is the stupidest thing I ever did in my life. So, you know, I'll cut to the chase. So we bought this property, we built a home there, and during the winter time, we didn't realize it had a seasonal creek. And so winter comes, rain starts pouring, suddenly, woof, you just like a creek comes out of nowhere. And it was really like a harrowing experience, you know, because it was just eating up the property, and we were kind of out of our wits. And I remember, like, I had to, you know, have a guy with an excavator come and do this work and that work, emergency work, and trying to figure out, like, okay, what's going on here? And the problem, part of the problem is because it wasn't like an absolute massive amount of water, but because it went from high to low, from a pretty high elevation, and the home was at the bottom end, and it was pretty close to the house, so it was, you know, it was definitely a very tough time. Like, I just remember that first winter, maybe the first 2 winters were just really touch and go till we could figure it out. So, anyway, I'm at the top of the property, and we're trying to, like, get this redirected and stuff, and I'm noticing that, like, the water was, at certain points, it would run and then disappear. And then, majority of it was running on the ground and then running down and eating up the soil and stuff. And you know, like, if you've just built, you know, you have bare soil, you don't have a lot of stuff to hold in place. And so I'm noticing, like, water is, like, percolating downward for some reason. And so I'm poking and prodding, and had the guy with the excavator come and did a little bit of work here and there. And we just couldn't figure what was going on. And then I took a long pole, and then I'm plunging, like, we're in that spot where I see it going, and then suddenly all the water, everything, silt just went like you flushed a toilet bowl. It just went straight down. And I'm like, what the hell? And what it was is that a previous owner put a 2-foot culvert pipe about 15 feet down. And because the property was left alone for years, he lost it maybe in for not paying taxes or something. It became silted in, and it became blocked up by different. Basically, if you went beyond where this inlet was just the woods for miles. It was just Weyerhaeuser property and just woods. And so every year, a lot of material, silt and leaves and sticks and logs and stuff come down that way, and it plugged it up. And so it was all silted over and everything is running on top. So finally we figured this out. Okay, there's a culvert pipe here, so that's great. As long as it's in good shape, then we can use that. It's big enough, it should be no problem. And I knew there had to be something there, because if you investigate the bottom of the property, there was a silt box with what looked like a pipe stubbed into it, and it had to be connected somewhere. And then we connected the dots after doing our research, and lo and behold, it was about 500 to 600 feet from the bottom to the top. And so we got the water to run into that inlet, and so it was a big rehabilitation then you have to make the inlet to a point where that the water, I could have like a grate, but it wouldn't plug up. And so, okay, so, we got that squared away, and we're running water down. And let me get over here to a video I've got. Let me show you here. And this is from back in the day. So basically, you could see the house, right? And then this is after I rehabilitated it. And you could see here, let me get to the comments just in case anybody's saying something interesting. Yeah, so basically, you know what I'm talking about. If you live in the Pacific Northwest and you don't see water, it doesn't mean you don't have water. And it's a blessing. It's nice. And it's nice to have a creek, but not when it's, 15 feet from your house and there's no protection. So you can see here, this is when it was rehabilitated that I worked with a DNR guy to rehabilitate the creek on top, because I didn't want to keep putting it down the pipe, not knowing what the shape the pipe was in, but it was good in an emergency. And so you could see how the distance is from the house and how it was, I had it rehabilitated. The next owner did even more buttressing work to make it safer in that area. So, but the pipe, I had it located, and it runs, if you see where that creek bed is, and this is obviously the summertime, it's between the house and the creek. So it's very close to the house, not beneath it, thank God, but it's very close. And so of course, if I'm still dumping water down there and I don't know how this pipe was made, what the shape of it was or whatever. So I remember after a few seasons, I was just out of my mind. And I'll show you now. So you'll see, let's go back in time. Hey, what's going on there, Roy? Let's go back in time and you'll see some of the damage. And these are very old pics, so, but you can get the gist. So look here, like now, go back in time. This is the exact same angle. Look at that. Now, keep in mind, it's just a seasonal creek, and this is a flat area, but we just built the house. There's no ground cover, nothing. And I've got the woods right behind, on the other side of the creek, going away from the house. It just slopes up into the woods, and then going from where the water is coming in, it's a large slope to the top of the property. So look at how it was eating the soil away, and that's just unbelievable, right? Yeah. All right, we got some punks over here with some adult dating. Just ignore them. I'm not even gonna pay attention to these hammerheads. All right. So look at that. This is the worst of the worst. It was just running. Thankfully, it was sloped to that direction, the hill, but you can see how it's just eating away and eating away. And now, what will a creek do when it goes from a high elevation to low? Eventually, it'll work its way down until it becomes slow. It's like the Colorado River or something. It's going to work its way down, down, down until it meanders and slows down. But as it's going from top to bottom, it's going to rip and tear. If you went back in time before the culvert, you would see, okay, it had an original creek bed that was probably pretty far down, but for whatever reason, whoever wanted to use that property wanted that space. So they put that culvert in there. So, Anyway, you can see how I've got like cinder blocks. I just remember being out of my mind. And look at it. This is it rushing from different directions. This is like halfway up the property. So, yeah, I want to get rid of this guy who's spamming this here. But oh well, I'm not exactly sure how to do that. So we'll just leave him be for now. All right, continue on. So now this is at the top, the very top where it was meandering in from the woods. And then you can see how I threw some straw down as kind of a cover because it was still raining. And I just threw this here and that there. And then eventually, this is when we found that there is a culvert pipe. So look at it. It's like it's exactly as I'm describing, that it was like a toilet bowl. It was just going straight down. And now what we later discovered is the culvert pipe was obviously horizontal and sloped downward, but it had a vertical first on it with a grate. So it would come in, go down, and then 90-degree and run out to the other end of the property and to the other side of the road into a larger creek system. So you can see here, look at it like, so now, okay, now you can see how I had a lot of, when the weather was good. And the thing is, if you live in the Northwest, you can only do work on slippery soil at certain times of the year, just the dry season. So we had it buttressed in important spots, brought in, big rock, had it dug down in certain areas. Like I said, I really took a lot of rehabilitation, and I spent tons of time. Now look at this. This is insanity. Like, for 1 year, like I don't know. I'm not like it's not I couldn't afford it, but I just was sick of having excavators rip up the property, and I wanted to, on the very top, I wanted to dig down into the soil to lower it so I could, as part of the rehabilitation, to make it run on top. And so I took almost a whole summer, maybe 2 months, let's say, and I hand dug. You can see the height of that. It's about 3 feet. You can see my shovel in the background. And then you can see how I laid it back. I dug that. That's solid clay. I dug that with you can see the wheelbarrow at the top there on that little bridge I got with a shovel and a 5-gallon bucket. And I remember I moved the soil to another area, and I was just an idiot. I just wasted. I mean, I wouldn't say I wasted because everything's a learning experience. But eventually I did have an excavator come and lay all that back even more. So, but yeah, I just was nuts. And I'll tell you the most nutty thing. So here you can see now I've got it rehabilitated where you can see where there was a wall, and then you could see a vertical with a grate, and I rehabilitated where I could have the water run down the pipe, and then I made a stop log system where either I could run it down the pipe or I could run it along the creek bed. And so you could see where I dug that out by hand, and you'll see, let's go further on and you'll see maybe yeah, so I made this kind of a stop log system working in conjunction with a guy who was like I said, a DNR expert, and he knew a lot about creeks and stuff like that. And so he said, if you build this system, you could probably have it run, whichever way you want, then to determine if you want to keep using the pipe or you don't want to use the pipe. And it worked really well. I've had these logs, like you see now, I've got that kind of worked in where it won't undercut anymore. I cemented in some heavy blocks, and I cemented in those posts that I made these custom things where I could have these boards that were reinforced that I could put them in to stop the water to run it one way or the other. So you can see there I've got the boards in place, and that would make it so that virtually all the water would run down the pipe. Yeah, just one sec. If you hover over the name, 3 vertical dots. Yeah, I don't see the vertical dot. Yeah, I mean, I see the person, but I'm trying to get rid of this nonsense on here. I'll see. Let me see. Forget it. I'll get it. Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah, I've got it. Remove. I want to remove this because I don't like when people spam with their nonsense. People got no class. I'll remove them for now. Okay. Hold on. Put them in a timeout. Yeah, I'm sorry to waste time. I've got such a great I got a great storytelling here, and I got to waste my time with this hammerhead. All right, it just the more I get rid of it, the more it comes on. I'll hide that user on this channel. Put them in a timeout. All right, I don't want to monkey around. I can't like figure out how to get rid of all of this nonsense. So yeah, it's all crapola, right? Okay, yeah. Don't if you see anything, anybody says any nonsense that you won something, you didn't win anything. Okay, you're like me, right? Right now you're a loser. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah. So anyway, let's continue on. All right, forget about them. Hello, Thomas. How are you? So yeah, let's get back to my story here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Roy, you know a lot more about live streaming. So once I finish this live stream, yeah, they keep popping back. So I'm not going to like even, this is just ridiculousness. So I'll try to, let me see. Hide. Report. All right, we'll just leave them as is for now. I want to get back to my story. So yeah, so anyway, where I'm at. Yeah, so there you can see now, I'm going to go back in time here. Yeah, you see my stop log system. And then you see now, after I dug that trench, I spent 2 months digging that in the solid clay with with a shovel and a 5-gallon bucket. I eventually had an excavator come and lay back the sides because it was just too steep. And so you could see it's grassed in, and I treat it in. And that's, like I said, on the top end before it works its way down. And so I worked it so that it would kind of waterfall, as it went down. And you see I put like little bridges across it here and there. You can see actually here the water's running. This is kind of like halfway. Oops. Sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, hold on a second. Get back to this creek here. Yeah, I don't know how I lost it. All right, no matter. Okay, so you could see you could see there what it did. And so the gist of my story is this. Yeah, and just like I said, ignore the scammers for right now. I'll figure it out later how to get rid of them. But the gist of this is, the gist of my story is this, that what I did that was so stupid was I actually went into the pipe because it was probably like the second or third year that I was there. And then I was out of my mind because at that time I hadn't rehabilitated the creek. I didn't have a real solid plan in place. And I kept thinking when the winter comes and I'm dumping all this water down this pipe and I don't know exactly where it is and I don't know exactly what shape it's in. But at that time, of course, I knew where the inlet and the outlets are. And, so at the very bottom, all right, let me show this before I finish my story here. So on this trip back, when I visited my old property and the person who purchased it, who's a friend, I took some quick video clips. So let's see, I'll show those quick. Hold on. So this is what it looks like today. This is the top end. So let's play that. So you can see, well, you'll see in a second. It's hard to see right here, but it's pretty silted over. You can see where the stop logs are. They haven't, she's been just using the pipe, so silt has been building up on that side. If you remove those stop logs and one good, winter rain, it would wash all that down. So, and then you can see she's using the pipe, and it's still, some water's running. It was late in the season. This is like in May, so there's not much water. And you can see the inlet and how that is. And what I did was, you see the grading on top is pretty fine. Well, I cut that away and I made a door. The door is this here. That can be opened and closed. So you can also have a lock on it for safety. And then you can see this, the vertical looking straight down. And that goes down about, like I said, 15 feet, maybe 12 to 15 feet, and then it's 90 degrees. Okay? So keep that in your head, right? See that? All right? Now, this is not the inlet, this is the outlet, and this is also recent. This is just in May, I took these pictures. Actually, the funny thing is the county was coming to change the culvert in the road. And so you can see signs of they were going to do that. But let's look at this. So now, this is where the grate is at the bottom here. This is a silt box. And this is where the pipe connects from the top all the way down to here, and it's about, like I said, 500 to 600 feet. It's the length of the property is triangular, and it's the longest leg of that triangle of a 2-acre property. So look at, you can see the water rushing in. There's actually 2 pipes. There's actually 3 pipes that come together in the system, one, from different directions. And so if you look in there, right, you can see they're cutting the road there because they were going to change the culvert from that box to the other side of the road into the larger creek system. So you see that culvert kind of hidden there. They changed that to be one of those black ABS plastic ones. So yeah, so let's remove that. And so basically what I did was, the crazy thing that I did was I went in it was like October or November, and I was kind of thinking like, well, I haven't rehabilitated this creek bed, and I'm using this pipe, and I don't know, I'm going to be out of my mind if I have to go through another winter season and be uncertain about what's going on down there. And so I don't know how, like, don't ask me how. I went to the bottom of the bottom where that silt box is. The pipe is a 2-foot diameter pipe. I went in there, I got into my skivvies with a pair of old sneakers on. I had a flashlight on my head, and I had a camera as well. Water's starting to come down, okay? Water is starting to come down, but it's not a lot, so it's enough I can get in there. But when you go into the silt box, the inlet, the pipe coming from my property is lower than the road because it's a silt box, so you want the stuff to dissipate out and drop out here before it goes into the larger creek system. So I go in and I'm looking, and I have it hell bent. I'm going in this pipe to go up a little bit, at least towards the house, where I can shine a flashlight and see what's going on. Yeah, hey Thomas. And so I had to go underwater to get in because it's already, like I said, the pipe is submerged. There's a little bit of water at the bottom end for a few feet. So I go in, it's freezing cold. I saw crawling in the pipe, and I don't know. I must have been out of my mind. I didn't tell my wife because I knew she would kill me. And so I go in and I go up a little bit, and it kind of bends a little bit. So I can't see around the corner. I got to keep going. So I go up certain ways, and I'm relieved. I'm looking at the pipe, and it looks in great shape. It's a very heavy gauge steel pipe, smooth steel pipe, and in big sections. It must be like, where there were joints, it probably was 50 foot long each piece. So I get to a certain point, and it hurts because I have nothing on basically, and it's my knees are getting bloodied, and I can't turn around. I realize like I can only, and I'm kind of going up, I'm going uphill, and I can't turn around, and I can't really back up. So I figured, I just collected myself, and I thought, well, I'll just like keep going to the top if I can, and I'll be able to inspect the whole pipe. And I remember shimmying a little bit, and it was so, like, lucky I'm not very claustrophobic, but you're being in that space, and when I remember I had to take a deep breath and just calm myself, close my eyes and just relax. And I remember like, wow, just being exhilarated that the pipe was in good shape, that I could use this system, but being also like, well, I've got to get out of here. So long story short, then I shimmied my way up, and I get to the top. And so I get to the top, and then I realize, wait a second, I didn't open I have that door that I made that, I could fit through it. And thank God, though, I didn't have a lock on it, but I had it wired, and I didn't open it. And I thought also, how am I going to get up there? I don't have a rope or anything. It's about at least 12 feet. So I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, okay. Nerves are bad, okay? So I'm fine. So anyway, so when I get, and also here's another thing too, when I get to almost the very end of the pipe and I can see daylight, I'm noticing like there's these like prehistoric bugs on like the ceiling of the pipe, on the top of the pipe on the inside. They look like a hybrid between like a grasshopper and a cockroach. They were gigantic. And I'm thinking like, oh my Lord, I hope these things aren't like, hope there isn't an alligator down here too. It's like, so eventually I get to the vertical. I can get out, I can stand up, and then I can't get out though. And then luckily, like, I'm pretty wiry, and I had a shimmy, I did like a shimmy, like Batman to the top, and I had myself perched and I was able to reach out and like undo the wire and get out of there. Man, oh man, that was really like, I remember like being so happy because I thought, okay, this is great. Like I can use this and I can take my time and rehabilitate the creek. But on the other hand, I thought like, I think probably that's the craziest, stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. If I got trapped down there, my wife wouldn't know that I was down there. Neighbors, nobody. And when I told them, they yelled at me like there was no tomorrow. You know, they kept saying like, "You don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again." And of course I did. I mean, I didn't go through the whole thing then. I went the opposite way just for a little bit because I wanted to examine something else down there. You know, the bugs or whatever else. I don't know. It's out of my mind. No, yeah. So anyway, that's my story with my creek. And I really wish, and the thing that it made me upset is that for the longest time I wanted to tell this story, but I never had I have a picture of me in the pipe because I had a camera. I think the camera, I'm sorry, was on the second run down. I was prepared with a camera to take some pictures of what I saw in there and pictures of me and like that. And I have those pictures. I just could not find. I have one really good one and I just couldn't find it. So if I ever find that, I'll show you guys. So yeah, so I crawled through a 2-foot pipe that is at least 500 feet long. It took a long time. I came out, knees were bloodied up, I was soaking wet, freezing. The bugs didn't bother me, thank God, you know, and thank God I was able to get out of there. But at least in subsequent winter times, for that winter, I slept a lot better. Let's put it that way. So anyone who lives in the Northwest, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, if be from like someone just said from Vancouver on down to Oregon, like, you know what I'm talking about. So if you own property, there's got to be water somewhere out there. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't get the jitters listening to my story. Yeah, well, listen, I really have fun telling these stories, and I really enjoy like conveying stuff that's non-blacksmithing related. So if you guys like that, I'll continue telling similar things. So, and I really do appreciate everyone that logs on and checks onto my stuff and you know, and gives me support. And I feel I've got a lot of good things to come up on my channel as well. Like maybe like twice a year I get creative inspiration. And I feel like right now I've got those juices flowing. I've been suffering a little bit from some physical ailments like old injuries and stuff. And so I've been trying to dial it back. And I'm busy enough for work, but I'm not terribly busy. And I've been doing the gym, the yoga and stuff religiously, but I find like that I need to take a break from that as well. I've been just overdoing that as well. So I'm trying to I'm trying to get some more balance into my life. And another thing is I'm really looking forward to going back to the States again, because I really want to complete working on my property that I have across from the home I own. I really like that piece of property, and I had so much fun when I was there. I spent a ton of money because every time I turned around, there was something else to do. And you guys know what inflation is like in the States right now. It's nuts. So, but I'm really hell-bent on, you know, getting something put on that property. And so I really look forward to my next trip back. And I think that's going to be sooner than later because I've got some other issues, you know, family stuff that's going on that I might have to be there. So, you know, I'll keep you guys updated on a lot of different things. And like I said, the live streaming for me is the best way probably for me to do that. And I don't think I'm going to do a live stream every week, but I'm certainly going to get back into the habit. And especially when I have good stuff that I want to show you and different. I've got like stuff written down here. I've got stories from way back in the day, even from when I was in high school, that I'd like to tell. So yeah. So anyway, that's about that. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has anything you want to say, but I think I'll probably wrap this up because it's getting pretty late. It's coming up on close to 55 minutes here, and obviously this has worked. As far as the spammers, pay no mind to them. I definitely am going to do some giveaways, and I'll have to work out a system here where, you know, it's spam proof, because, you know, you'll find like these people that just don't give up, and like you said, they've got bots. Like even you remove them and they pop back up, you know. So they're like these roaches over here, man. They're indestructible. So anyway, yeah. See if anyone's asked a question. No. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Still here. It's bald-headed Glen, right? Right. Yeah. Hey, you're not sticking up the... Hey, Steve, don't you know how to spell joint? It's jernt, okay? I'm not sticking up the jernt over here, right? So, yeah, that's pretty funny, right? will you do some art blacksmithing? Yeah, for sure. I mean, art is relative, and so to me, what's beautiful may not be to others, but I definitely will do more stuff like that. Like I said, I want to focus on a few things I have in my mind right now, which is pivoting tools. And so once that runs my course and I've done stuff that more to my satisfaction, then I'll obviously work on some different things as well. So like I said, I've got a lot of stuff planned for the channel. I ain't gonna give up. Hey Jeff, yeah, thanks for sharing your video. I showed that earlier, so go back earlier and watch that, and don't fall for these stupid scammers and spammers that are on here, adult sites or whatever like that. So we get our kicks above the waistline, so we don't need that. Yeah. Anyway, so. Yeah, you translate to others. Yeah, I did. Right. Well, of course, like with Steve here, Steve B, like it's like he's also from back east, so he gets a kick out of kind of my accent, I suppose. And I was mentioning to him that like for whatever reason I felt like I was stinking up things, and I said I'm stinking up the joint, kind of like a la Archie Bunker, So yeah, anyway, so that's it. Yeah, pretty simple. Hey John, love your Taipei wanderings. Yeah, Taipei is a great city. I met an old friend yesterday and had a cup of coffee, and I just kept thinking it's been so long since I've really relaxed like that, and Taipei is so conducive to that kind of a lifestyle. It's just easygoing, relaxed, and hopefully the commies stay in the commiesville and they leave us alone here, which is I'm hopeful of that. So, no, I don't. Yeah, Matt, I don't use an induction forge. No, there is noise. Probably it's just because the camera's usually a distance, but I normally am using a gas forge, but it's only a single burner. And I use that little charcoal forge now, and obviously that won't make any noise unless I'm cranking it. So, hey, Pickle Snout, Penobscot. Yeah, everybody's a little bit late. So, yeah, I know. Hello from Squim. Yeah, I remember when I lived in Washington, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to see Quim. So, yeah, no, it's impossible to pronounce Squim. Yeah, well, at any rate, yeah. You need to zoom. Okay, I don't know what that is. Right, I know that's something to do with social networking, I guess. Yeah, next interesting hardware, you need to zoom. Okay, yeah, well, I'll do my best, Brooks. I'll figure it out. So, yeah, anyway, so, yeah, like I said, appreciate everyone who's come on a little bit late here, but I'm going to wrap this up because I actually got to get to work. So, and like I said, look out for more live streams. I'll be doing them, and I'll be doing the best that I can with also some giveaways because there's some things I want to get rid of, and I'm making changes too to my products and product line and what I sell, kind of streamlining a bit. So thanks to everyone who shared, and yeah, I'll be checking you soon. And if you have any questions, you email me. And if you want any more interesting stories, and if I think anything else about the pipe, which I know I have somewhere in my head, I'll be sure to convey that to you. Be safe, everyone. I'll catch you guys next time.